What's going on, YouTube? Man, I've been wanting to make this video for a long time, but finally, you know, I had some time. I've been really working a lot, but I will literally be explaining to you guys my experience working for Xanterra from, you know, May 15th all the way to October 7th, living in Yellowstone, okay? First National Park, tons of nature, 2.2 million you know, acres of land, of nature. That's what I love, man. My first time seeing a lot of stuff. But I will get into, okay, I'm gonna make a lot of videos explaining not only my experience, which is this video, but the dorms, the food, all those things. Especially after I get done with this video, you're gonna probably want to think about working in Yellowstone if you want to just start fresh, you know, be around nature, you know, get away from TV, get away from all that stuff, all the Matrix stuff, and just, you know, work somewhere where it's nature and you can just meditate next to a waterfall. That's what I did. But let's get into it because, you know, I'll pretty much get into it, guys. So pretty much, if you guys have to know me, my name is DeAndre, and I just work in housekeeping in Old Faithful Inn in Yellowstone. And I mean, it was pretty much a smooth process. I pretty much explained to you guys how I got hired and how everything went for me. So basically, I had applied in late April, and I was actually surprised. They got back to me like this. I mean, they got back to me fast, guys. So I applied like at night at like probably 10 p.m. in late April. But then like less than I say 8 to 10 hours, I remember getting a email back, hey, you know, when can we call you for a phone interview? I'm like, heard? That's the quickest anybody ever got back to me for a phone interview. So literally the next day I had a phone interview. Everything was good. They were telling me about positions. They were like, when can you come? They were hoping for me to come as soon as possible. But, you know, as far as plane tickets and everything, I had to wait for the cheapest ones. And I ended up going in, I got to Bozeman in May 10th to get used to the altitude, right? And that was really amazing. I'll probably insert some clips in the next video with that, maybe even this video. And I was there, Bozeman, Montana, and that's about roughly 2.5 hours above Old Faithful in Yellowstone. Okay, so once you get there, there's hostels. The hostel I stayed in was $30. I was actually shocked. I'm expecting to pay for a hotel. I'm like, dang, I gotta pay for a hotel. You know, I don't know the prices in the area. So they have hostels there for $30. So I always met some wonderful people there. Always. I stayed there for about what do you call it? May 10th to the night of May 14th, and then I left in the morning in May 15th. So from there, it was a bus. Everything was really smooth, right? It was a bus that left from Bozeman, Montana, all the way to Gardner. That's about, I don't know, maybe about 45 minutes, give or take. There might be some jams, but around 45 minutes. And it was really smooth. We had the old school Yellowstone bus, yellow bus. I met some wonderful people on the bus. I mean, it was just an experience that I never felt before. I was getting this, like, you know, field trip vibe when I did that. You know, we're going to Yellowstone. It was just amazing. My first time being in that environment, being in Montana, 21 years old. You know, it was just amazing. I wish I would have done this when I was 18. I'm not even gonna lie with you guys, to get this experience. But yeah. So they take us to the actual, I guess it's called the Xanterra headquarters. I think I had video of that. And once you get there, you get your uniform, you get your badges, well, not badges, but your badge, all your equipment that you would need to work there. Very, very simple. That should take about maybe an hour. Okay, so now the bus that came around 7:10, and we got there like around 9 o'clock. From there, they drove the bus to, I think it's called, I forgot what it's called. So it's Old Faithful, and then it's Mammoth. So we went to Mammoth Hot Spring, a beautiful sight, snow everywhere. I wish I would have got more video, but there was snow everywhere. It was my first time ever seeing snow. And we ate lunch there. I'm not even gonna lie for you guys. The lunch was not that good. And I was kind of like turned off. And then once we got to Old Faithful itself, after that we left to go to Old Faithful. That took about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes, because we took like the actual long way, and we were going kind of slow so that we could see the scenery. And there was the bison jam. We got to Old Faithful, and the people that was supposed to be working at Mammoth, they already got dropped off. So those people, they were adios, and then they dropped me and some other people off in Old Faithful, right? So we get to Old Faithful, and I'm not even gonna lie, I get there, and you know, we go to housing, and housing at the time was, my dorm was called Laurel. I will make a video on dorms, okay? My dorm was called Laurel, right? It's the 21 and under dorm. So that bad boy was crazy. So you guys want to see that video on dorms, and especially if you want to work there, it was an amazing experience, right? Because I had no idea. Once you apply, once you do all that stuff, it was very vague on the dorm experience and, you know, roommates. So once we get there, right, they tell you that, hey, housing tells you about your room. I go find my room. At the time, I had a roommate. My roommate literally got fired 3 days later, which is crazy. So I had my own roommate. I mean, I had my own room for a couple of days, or maybe even like 2 weeks or so. But yeah, from there, I just explored around Old Faithful and got used to the managers. I mean, the process was pretty cool. They did tell us that our orientation was in the pub, so that was kind of like weird because I didn't know where the pub was. So the next day itself, we go to the pub in the morning at like 8 o'clock, and then we go through orientation. Depending on where you're working, you'll get different, you know, briefings. So we all get the same orientation. But as far as how far we get into working the next day, I was in housekeeping in Old Faithful Inn, but it's also the lodge. It's also, you know, the snow lodge. So I worked in the Old Faithful Inn, and I pretty much got started right away. And I think I applied to be housekeeping as a RA, but I'm so glad I wasn't an RA. I'm telling y'all right now, I was a porter, right? So my experience, guys, I'm sorry for giving that little long intro, but I just want to give you guys a backstory of just the process itself, how they treat me around from when I got to on a bus in Bozeman to actually when I got there. It was pretty smooth. You know, as far as me getting the lunch, it wasn't the best, and what do you call it, in Mammoth. But once I got to Old Faithful itself, the lunch was way better. They had vegetarian options. They had different variety. It wasn't the best. Okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, I give it a 6. Sometimes it was a 7, but most of the time it averaged around a 6 as far as you know, food. But as far as my experience with that, it was all right. You know, orientation, like I said, I got all these notes right here. I'm writing it down. So started my job, and in my experience, okay, you guys are gonna go through all these forums. In my experience, the managers were actually really cool, really open-minded. I was pretty open with them as far as my schedule. I worked late shifts. Like, there was like, for about almost 2 months, I worked about almost 9 hours a day, about 6 days a week, getting 1 day off. That was about 2 months. It was really, really busy, extremely busy. And it got really, really, really busy around June, July time. That was like peak time. I'm telling y'all right now, they needed more staff. And once we got to overstaff time, which was probably like late July, all the way through August, that was overstaff time, okay? And that was when people got 4 days off, 3 days off. Mostly, I'll say 4 to 3 days off. That was pretty much the average. I got about 2 days off, considering that the porter, you know, cleaning up a lot. But that was when also a lot of the J1s came in, which are international students came in, or international workers came in. They got even more lit when they came in. It literally got 10 times better, in my opinion, when they came in. And they treated it in the same way, you know, as far as with respect and everything. I didn't see any shady stuff going on. You know, you're going to see some weird stuff if you go Google. I wouldn't even recommend Googling it, you know, Xanterra, the company and all that. But literally, guys, once I literally got off the bus and I got into the dorm and started talking to people and everything, I recommend, guys, I told you guys, I stayed from May 15, 2019 all the way to October. Okay, you're going to come across these negative people, okay, that are always negative. And the last thing you want is to be around these people. If you're going to be there for 5 months, you think you really want negative thoughts coming into your mind? So I'm not bashing this girl, but there was this girl talking about how Xanterra was you know, it was ranked the 2nd worst company in America. And I'm just like, who raised you? There are, guys, I've seen worse companies that don't pay their employees a full amount and all this crazy stuff. And, you know, is it the best company? No, okay, no company is perfect, but it is by no means the worst company. Like, people talking about how they treat their employees, but if you do dumb stuff, you know, what do you expect to happen? Some people came into work drunk. You know, some people, in my experience that I seen, some people need to be fired, you know, but sooner. But that kind of delayed, and they got fired weeks later. But it would have been great if they would have had got. I'm not wishing bad on them, but they were like doing bad things, whether it was bad customer service or coming into work 30 minutes late consistently. Took them about 3 weeks to get fired, and then the people that actually, you know, it was just that was my experience, considering that how short staffed we were. Near, I'll say September time, October, it was like really short staffed. But that was just my experience with that. They treated them right. There was many different, you know, things to do. They had the gym there. We could play basketball. They had a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, 4-on-4 basketball tournament, volleyball tournaments, ping pong tournaments. They had a talent show. They had so much things to do. There's also, you know, hiking events that, not events, but hiking things where you can just pay like $5, $10. And on a certain day, let's say most of the time I did it, it was on a Thursday. And the head person in the actual gym, she most of the time it was a girl, she would take us, it was like a group of 10 of us, to some major hiking spots around Yellowstone for just, sometimes the cheapest one I paid for was $5, and it was like miles out. You know, people did hitchhiking. It's just a place to get out of your comfort zone. But I will make a different video. I won't get into any of that in this video, but I just want to focus on my experience working for Xanterra. Was amazing. Okay, everything was just amazing. It wasn't perfect by any means, but it was amazing. Don't listen to all that stuff. I worked there summer 2019 this year, and definitely if you guys are looking into going there, working there next summer 2020, I recommend it. It's gonna be even more lit. You're gonna meet even more people. As a matter of fact, guys, you know, actually I'll mention this in the next video, okay, as far as my experience. You guys want to see this next video as far as my experience, how to have, pretty much, if you want to work there, how to have the best experience working for Xanterra in Yellowstone. That's gonna be my next video. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully this is very informative for anybody that thinks about working for Xanterra, or, you know, on the edge because you see some negative comments online about, you know, all this extra stuff. But I mean, if you just do dumb stuff, there's people that came in there smoking weed, people that came in there drunk all the time, you know, fighting with their boyfriend and girlfriend, acting like a fool. Of course, man, this is federal land. I mean, gotta be smart, guys. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching this video. Yeah, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.